Welcome back. The MC is back. The multi-consciousness. Another day of hearing voices in my head, and they're all arguing. Again, of course. It's been nearly 6 years of this. Real frustrating, upsetting. The anger. And people are dying. Apparently, according to the voices in my head, overcoming social drama. It's all going on in my head. All these false statements, accusations. They're talking about other people's boinking lives right now in my head. You know, they're implying that people justify cheating for the stupidest reasons. You know, like, I caught my girlfriend. She had a bunch of photos on her computer of celebrities showing off their muscles and their bodies. And I found them on her computer, and I said, why you got these photos on your computer? What were you doing with them? And she confessed to me. And then I was so upset, I started cheating on her. I couldn't deal with it. And then I stopped watching movies altogether because I don't want her to get tempted by all these hot celebrities. You know, I can't compete with them. So we started working on jigsaw puzzles together instead. And I stopped cheating on her, but I explained to her why. Because all those celebrity photos, these male celebrities in seductive poses, and I had to donate all my entire movie collection. I sold it off and donated the rest of it that nobody wanted. You know, just didn't want this temptation around for her. And she understood why. But then, you know, I was getting friendly with another woman, and I needed an excuse to cheat on her again. So I left a magazine on the coffee table with a hot male celebrity on it showing off his muscles. And she took the bait, and I got some action on the side. And she accepted it. It was her fault, of course. It was entirely her fault. She shouldn't have looked at that photo and fantasized about it. Of course, I'm joking around. It's not a true story. But I'm mocking how manipulative these voices are in my head. I don't say the things they say directly in my head. They say things in the worst nefarious way imaginable, in small phrases, in short sentences, and they never get into detail. And they want to imply something infuriating was going on related to me talking about other people. and they don't get into detail. It doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, it would have to be a scenario like that, except I'm the one with the hot female celebrities on my computer, and they justified their cheating because of all these photos I had of all these hot female celebrities. So I got about 5-6 hours of sleep. I'm sleeping better, I suppose. They're not waking me up early morning anymore. I'm sleeping till about 7 or 8 in the morning. But every time I wake up, they just start arguing in my head. And I have another story to mock the voices in my head, the way they speak to me. I try to make it comical, but I don't think it's that funny because of how absurd what I'm hearing in my head is. How else do you cope with such a thing? So I try to mock them. So I was going on earlier today. I was like, okay, what if there's this scenario? A father's like, son, look, son. I was browsing through the browser history, and I wanted to know why do you like Garfield? Why do you like Garfield, son? I want to know. You know, I don't think Garfield's a good influence on you. He's real lazy. He sleeps all the time, kind of like you do. He indulges. He's gluttonous. He's always eating pasta. Why do you like Garfield? You know, son, at some point you have to move out of the basement and get a job. So why do you like Garfield? Why do you like Garfield? He's a bad influence. And you know, he's always eating lasagna and pasta. It's way too much pasta. I'm getting kind of suspicious of this Garfield. And for some reason, his owner is enabling his lifestyle. I don't want to be like Garfield's owner enabling your lifestyle. So why do you like Garfield? I know this pasta. You know where pasta originates from, don't you? We're getting kind of suspicious. You know, you think he would mix it up once in a while and eat some Chinese food or some sushi or something, but he's always eating pasta. And you know, pasta nearly a century ago comes from Italy, and nearly a century ago Italy embraced fascism. So I'm getting kind of suspicious. Are you a neo-Nazi or a neo-Nazi sympathizer? I want to know why you like Garfield. Why do you like Garfield? And then I was looking through some more in your browser history. And you're also watching some He-Man. It's real confusing to me. And some Transformers. Why do you like He-Man? And why do you like Transformers? Son, you have to be honest with me. You have to be honest. So it's kind of the voices that they just go non-stop like they're interrogating me. But they do it in such an infuriating way. And that's what I originally thought nearly 6 years ago when I first started hearing voices in my head. I felt like I was being interrogated. They were like ping-ponging my emotions, giving me delusions of fear and paranoia, and then giving me delusions of grandeur. And then they have the audacity to say I'm a drug addict or something, or an alcoholic. And that's why I was hearing voices in my head or something. You know, it almost seems like they choose, they have strategic timing, when to harass somebody, the most optimal time. And for some reason it took place during the Mayan doomsday. The Mayan doomsday, I started hearing voices in my head. It was the end of the world. So I'll continue on. First thing this morning, wake up, smoke a cigarette. I've been smoking for about 7-8 months now. Something I haven't done a lot of in the past. Very little. But it kind of helps when these voices going off on me. So first thing, they're telling me these lies in my head about my past and my life experience. Putting all these lies, and they sound like they could be believable lies. So they have some information on me, some details of my life and experience in life. And then they weave these lies that are possibly believable if they were told to the general public, and it kind of feels like everyone around me can hear what they're saying in my head. Like there's somebody with a megaphone everywhere I go, talking about my life. So they're always weaving these subtle stories with these believable lies in them that don't represent me. They're misrepresenting me. At the same time, the lies are forming this narrative and dehumanizing me. So if they could convince other people to believe these things, or convince me, it would make me out to be this really rotten individual, which I'm not. So first thing this morning, that's what they were doing. That's their strategy. They've used this repeatedly over the years. And then they're going on about, I made some comments online yesterday and posted my food review yesterday as well. And they're going on like my comments and my videos are giving people suicidal depression or something. And I was going off, talking back to them saying, oh, is that what it is? You got to protect people now. Everybody's getting depressed and suicidal. So you got to protect them. You know, the truth is making people depressed and suicidal. We got to suppress the truth. The truth is too hurtful. We got to protect people from the truth. You got to suppress the truth now. It's hurting people. The truth is hurting people. People are dying. They're dying. And people are getting angered. And people are angering too. And then another thing they always doing is embracing this concept that our minds don't adapt and grow stronger as we grow older and we have life experiences. This concept that our minds are weak and will forever be weak, and we all have to be extremely self-conscious and sensitive of everything we do and say. It sounds like they've embraced this concept. You know, I tend to think our mind grows stronger. You know, I think sure, we all go through things in our life that bring us down, but once we have an experience, and if we experience it again, I think we're much stronger and more capable of dealing with these experiences that are bringing us down. And it's kind of the way it is here in Voices, because when it first hit me, it was terrifying. I was afraid, I was paranoid, I was living in fear. I had delusions ping-ponging from delusions of grandeur to fearful paranoid delusions. It was terrifying. And now after more than 5 years, I think my mind has grown stronger. I mean, it seems like they keep using the same strategies and techniques. They just change it up a little bit. You know, and it all sounds like emotional manipulation, or as they put it in my head more than a year ago, emotional blackmail. It's the same thing, but I call it emotional manipulation. And I say there's good and bad forms of emotional manipulation, you know. You know, like eat your veggies. If you don't eat your veggies, you won't get dessert. And then there's bad forms of emotional manipulation that are rather manipulative. But I don't think people are consciously manipulating each other. I think if you can recognize it, you can deal with it better when you encounter this. I think people tend to live with their emotions and their feelings, and they react. I don't think they're consciously always doing it. Of course, there probably are people consciously doing it with ill will. But I think people tend to get emotional once in a while, and they might start sounding really manipulative. You might not understand where they're coming from, but just start labeling people, diagnosing them, all these different mental illnesses. But moving on, this concept the voices have of how weak our minds are and how sensitive, and how we should all be hyper self-conscious in a world of more than 7.6 billion people. Because I explained with the voices, I think my mind has grown stronger. And I remember as a teenager trying out for the basketball team. And of course I'm not that good at basketball, but I didn't make the team, and I was so upset. I was crying walking home, and it really hurt. It didn't feel good. So and then I tried out for baseball. I'm not that good at baseball either, and I didn't make the team, but it didn't affect me at all. So my mind grew stronger. It didn't affect me. And when the voices speak as if our mind doesn't grow stronger as we grow older and have life experiences, when they speak this way, it almost sounds like maybe they don't have any life experiences to begin with. They're just reading other people's stories. And they think they're truly empathizing. They're feeling it. Maybe in their minds they're delusional. They're embellishing and exaggerating and fantasizing in their mind how hurt people are. So maybe they don't really have much life experience. I'm always talking about this common social drama, a relationship drama. Now maybe they have no experience or very little experience in this. Maybe they're just idealists or absolutists. It almost sounds religious to me, you know. Thou shalt not. Hate to say I told you so. Something like that, but I think most people tend to grow up and grow wiser, and they figure out what they truly want in life, and the whole you shoulda, coulda, woulda, you shoulda listened. I don't think it's this sort of thing works for everybody, and it sounds like emotional manipulation. But, you know, maybe some people are content and happy, but that doesn't mean everybody's going to have the same life experience or grow up the same way. You know, society, I think it tends to change over time. Because I was thinking back yesterday about what type of music was being played on the radio in the 90s, and thinking about the double O's, what was being played, and then this decade, what's being played, how it's progressed, and you know, I think these things tend to kind of shape you a bit, and as well as movies and television, and video games. You know, maybe that's why I play video games, because I didn't make the basketball team or the baseball team, so I got really into video games. And now they're attacking video games. I mean, maybe all these women who don't like video games, maybe they just want to be with sports stars or something. So they're attacking video games, and you know, maybe they have this bizarre seduction strategy or something. They want to be perceived as public figures or something. Get all this respect and adoration, and then maybe a sports star will swoop in and settle down with one of these beautiful women who's criticizing all the nerds and the neckbeards and the basement dwellers playing video games. So on to the next. I'll talk about my dreams. I had a dream. I don't remember it too well, but it kind of felt like I was in a James Bond movie or something. And I don't know if I was the secret agent or somebody else was, but it kept going to the future and the past. And in the past, I was like dealing with this evil dude. I was like fighting this person in like this bizarre room, like this facility or something, and then I think there was like another character in the future, and somehow this past was affecting the future, there was this main story, and it was going back to the past to explain the main story. But I don't remember it too well. I think I had another dream. I don't remember that one either. So got through my notes. I think at some point I'm going to do another food review. I mean, the voices keep repeating themselves, engaging the same strategies. And I've talked enough. I was actually thinking maybe I should go through all my recordings and cut out all the funny parts that I find funny and the jokes, and put it all in one video. But there's so many of them. And it sounds so tedious to do such a thing. There's like nearly 200 hours now. So I'm kind of lazy like Garfield on this one. And maybe I could listen to myself at like 3 times the speed. I can breeze through it real quick. That's a good idea. So nothing more to say. Got through my notes. I noticed yesterday when I slid my the top window open, it got this cool effect with the lighting, with that filter I put on the video. So listen to them, have a discussion about other people now. I don't even know these people. They're saying names I don't know. People I knew briefly with these names. I don't know anything about their personal lives or their life experience. Talking about. Well, that's all for now. Bye.